Jai Hind. So in today class, we are going to learn that what is the embedded styles of CSS, right? So I'm going to write here like this. What is embedded styles? Embedded styles of CSS, right? So basically, in embedded styles of CSS, in embedded styles of CSS, right, in embedded styles of CSS we are writing the effects, we are writing the effects and styles, right? We are writing the effects and styles inside a separate right, inside a separate style element, right, style element, right? So basically in embedded styles of CSS we are writing the effects and styles inside a separate elements, right? So basically this is the separate element, right? This is the style separate element. Okay, so we are writing like this, right? And inside this we are writing inside this style element, right? Inside this style element we are writing the effects or style, right? We are writing the effects or style for the HTML elements, right? HTML elements. All right, so I hope you understand what is the embedded styles of CSS, right? So basically in embedded styles of CSS we are writing the effects and styles inside the separate elements, right? So we are writing the effects inside this, right, inside this for the HTML elements, right? So this is the embedded styles of CSS, right? So I hope you understand this. So let's move on my Visual Studio Code for understanding this concept with one example, right? Okay, so I open my Visual Studio Code. So let's understand what is embedded styles of CSS with one example, right? So first of all, I am going to write here doc type HTML, which is document declaration, and it indicates that we are using latest version of HTML, right? Okay, so after that I am going to write here document scope, which is HTML, right? Document scope, I hope you know about this, right? So inside document scope we have two section. One is head section, right? So first of all I'm going to write here head section, right? So after that we have another section which is body section, right? I hope you all people know about this. What is head section, what is body section? Maybe you learned in your HTML classes, right? Okay, so after that I'm going to write here some heading, right? So let's write h1 heading, right? H1 heading, I write here h1 heading, and inside the h1 heading I'm going to write here hello, right? I'm going to write here hello. Okay, so let's create one more heading, h1 heading. Let's create one more h1 heading, and inside this h1 heading I am going to write here how are you, right? How are you? Okay, so after that I'm going to create one more h1 heading. Okay, so I created one more h1 heading. So inside this heading I'm going to write here what are you doing, right? What are you doing? Okay, what are you doing? Okay, so basically this is normal HTML program, right? So let's run with live servers, right? So this is the result, right? So I do not use any embedded styles of CSS at this time, right? So now I am going to use embedded styles of CSS, right? So what is embedded styles of CSS? So basically in embedded styles of CSS we are writing the effects for HTML elements, right? We are writing the effects for HTML elements inside a separate style element, right? Inside a separate style element. Okay, so basically this is separate style element. I write inside the head section, right? This is separate style element, right? So inside this we are writing the effect for HTML elements, right? So let's write one effect for the HTML element, right? So I want to give effect to h1 element, right? H1 heading, right? H1 heading. So for that I am going to write here h1, right? Because I want to give effects to the h1, right? H1 heading, right? So inside the h1 I want to give the color, right? Color as like blue. Okay, so I write the color of blue, right? So now let's observe here. I'm going to again open with live server. Okay, you can see our text is going to convert in blue color, right? Our text is converting blue color and it's displaying on our browser, right? So this type of styles is called embedded styles, right? This type of styles we are calling embedded styles of CSS, right? So let's give some background color. Okay, so I'm going to giving here background color. So background color is some like aqua. Okay, so let's give aqua. Now again open with live server. Now observe here. So we can see that here we have aqua color background, right? Aqua color background for our h1 heading, right? All h1 heading, right? So I hope you understand how can we define embedded styles of CSS, right? How can we define embedded styles of CSS, right? So I hope you enjoyed the lecture. So we will meet in next lecture. Jai Hind.